You've heard of a day in the life? This is a day of skipping work on Friday and going fishing. Do you like your hoodie? A little R2-D2 action. It keeps you warm, dude. Even though I'm all bundled up right now, this could not be a more perfect winter day. It's like 30 some degrees right now, but it's supposed to be 60 by the end of the day. Days like these where the sun's out, it's warm in that water, can be absolutely epic. So we're gonna go out, try to slang on a few, try to pull on a few, and smash them up. So hit that like and subscribe button. Let's go get after it. There's Bog. So glad the boat ramp isn't frozen. I'm always worried about like the truck people like sliding down the boat ramp when I drop in. Yeah.
Look at them all down there, dude. There's freaking trees, there's bass. Everything alive is right in front of us. That's on a dual reel Spybait, and I think it's pretty big. I'm just reeling, the water's gin clear. How big are you? You're pretty damn big, dude. It's a 2.5, 3-pound spot. That's a big one. Yeah. Right at the boat, he followed the other ones up. That's a good one. Hey, look at Bull. It's another 3-pounder, dude. Look at the way he crossed it too. So I missed a really big one. And then this guy must have been triggered by that one. And he came up and freaking diced it, bro. Might have figured something out, guys. That's a great freaking big one. It's interesting because sometimes when I reel this thing, they get all weird and they don't follow it. Oh, he's hooked on the side of the mouth. It's still a good one, dude. Look at that bug. That's a great big spotted bass. Can't even get out of the water. Dude, that's a 3.5, 4-pound spot. Some of my biggest bites have come when I'm actually sending the bait down to him. This thing wiggles almost like a stick bait, like a Senko. Bro, that is, look how fat that thing is. It's a beaut. All right, let's get her back. So it wiggles like a Senko when it goes down. It's got kind of a little, look at all the teeth marks on there, dude. It's got kind of a little shimmy to it. And I'm getting my bigger bites when I'm actually just like throwing it out to fish that I see on forward facing and just sinking it down. They're coming up to it. I'm putting a little tension on the line, almost like you would with like a hover rig, and they're coming up and smashing it. That's a great big one. I hope I have him hooked. Look out, Ball. Dude, he ate it as it was going down. It's so crazy. When they see this thing, like it's either they go crazy and come up or you start reeling it and they lose their absolute minds, dude. That is a fat spot. Uh-oh. Oh, look how fat that thing is, dude. That is a beautiful spot. Only got it one hook because I think she snatched it as it went down. But guys, I mean 2.5 pounds, 2 3/4 pounds. It's such a crazy presentation. Dead of winter, freezing cold, but the water's clear. I think that's the trick. Underrated winter baits. That's actually exactly what we threw today. This is the dual railless Spybait. This particular model, this is I think the Spybait 80. It's a little bit smaller version. I've tried a lot of the other ones. I like them. I haven't found the right application, and I keep coming back to this one, especially we're fishing spotted bass on Smith Lake. I love this one because I can slang it out. The setup I got is, this is a KS2 Elite. It's a 610. It's a little shorter rod than most guys throw this on, but I like it because it has a really good tip to kind of slang it way out. It also has a good tip for that impact sort of reaction bite that you get when they smoke it. But at the same time, I can be super accurate with that shorter rod. I got it rigged up. This is one of those new Daiwa Accellers. Listen to this. dude, the drag is freaking butter. So it's a Daiwa Exceller. It's the new version. It's like $100. I'll put links to all this stuff at Tackle Warehouse so you can go check it out. I really like that thing. Setup wise, it's braid, 12-pound to 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. Sometimes I'll go down to 7 if I'm really trying to super slow roll the bait, which we'll talk about retrieves in a minute. But if I'm really trying to slow roll the bait but keep it down, the biggest thing that I do a little different on this setup is this right here. That's a loop knot right there. And yes, it does get wrapped around the prop from time to time. But what's really unique about this Duo Realis is the action, and you cannot buy a knockoff. Like the other Spybaits, they just don't do the same deal. This Duo Realis, when you're reeling it, it has this little kind of rolling shimmy to it. And then more importantly, when you actually stop reeling it, it kind of shimmies down, almost like a Senko. It sinks like vertically, and it does this little kind of shaking back and forth. And that loop knot accentuates that action by like 1,000. And I really think that freedom of motion, especially when you're talking about winter fish that are kind of finicky in that, I think that freedom of motion is so hugely important. You are going to have to unwrap it from the prop from time to time, but it is worth it. I think you get more bites on this bait because of it. The way I fish this thing, like for instance today, active target does help. You don't need it, but it does help. But really roll up on points, roll up over brush, kind of roll it over brush, slow roll it. A lot of times you can fish it a lot like a Kitech, but the real key is clear water. This thing requires clear water. It's a visual bite. These fish are coming up to get it, and that's actually another good point. So I've noticed more and more on the active target when it comes to these winter fish, they really want to rise to the bait. And especially in this clear water, you can throw it out in 40, 50, 30 feet and get these fish to rise up. It has this sort of subtle motion to it, and when you slow roll it, it's even more accentuated. And that's why I like it. When I get a warm day, a warm, sunny, clear day like this, that's when this thing comes out, because it's perfect for these fish that are kind of, I guess for lack of a better word, schooling underwater, but they won't eat like a spook. You know, they're not going to rise all the way and breach the surface. The other thing that I can do with it, and we actually got some big bites on that today, is actually throwing it out when I see fish on forward facing and letting it sink down and do that like Senko style shimmy. And that's what I got my biggest bites on today, dude, is letting it kind of do its own thing and sinking it down. Another way you can do, just like a Kitech, is you can tight line it. So you sink it down maybe like 5 to 10 foot, and you kind of slow roll it with a couple reels. You stop and let that bait shimmy back down. It's a very slow process fishing this thing unless you're burning it over the surface, but I think that's kind of the trick. There's very few hard baits other than a jerk bait that really allow you to sort of fish super slowly and almost like a neutrally buoyant kind of very gradual motion forward. But when I see them suspended and there's nothing else, like the blade bait doesn't work, the jerk bait doesn't work, sometimes that continual retrieve with no action added is really the ticket with these winter fish. And that's what this Spybait really provides. It's an opportunity to just kind of cast and reel, maybe stop it from time to time, but it's a very simple presentation. I've targeted points today, I've targeted brush, but I've fished it around docks. I've fished it in ditches, like out in open water, 40, 50, 60 foot, but those fish are suspended in like 20, and you're just basically reeling it right over those fish, and those that are active will kind of rise up and get it. It's a cool presentation for winter. In my opinion, one of the most underrated. It gets big bites, and it's super subtle. It has just this unique action that I don't think there's any other bait out there that sort of mimics that style of action, retrieve, and shimmy that it gives. I had a blast throwing it out here on Smith today, dude. When this bite is on, it's freaking awesome. Like, you catch some bigs, you catch some numbers, and nothing else catches them. I saw 5 boats go to the ramp in the past like 2 hours, dude, which means they're going home and I'm catching bass. But hit that like and subscribe button for me. Me and Bog are going to go slang a little bit, and we'll see you back out on the water. I'll put links to all this stuff at Tackle Warehouse and Monster Bass down in the description. Later, boys.